employed by Sheen, makes a deal with the devil and returns to Earth as Spawn, the indestructible general of Hell's armies. When Spawn decides to use his powers for good, a demon clown capable of transforming into a huge monster is sent by the devil to sway him back to evil. The film marks the directing debut of Mark DePay.
Cut.
A former visual effects supervisor who played a pivotal role on such groundbreaking effects films as Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park, he became interested in Spawn because of its origin as a popular comic book.
A lot of stylistic things that appeal to me are in comic books. Dark, edginess, complexity, strangeness, bizarreness. Also, comic books are sort of naturally cinematic. It's a story with pictures that are in a sequence. It's sort of like a storyboarded film.
To transform Spawn from comic book to feature film, DePay will need all the visual effects techniques he can muster, including computer animation, a 14-foot-tall animatronic puppet, and special makeup effects.
So again, you might want to have your brow up before you get angry. That'll emphasize it all. Good, 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 good.
The role of Spawn is played by Michael J. White, seen here beneath layers of makeup and the rubbery facial applications known as prosthetics.
When you're normally on set, you can, your energy can be zapped and you could be lethargic by the time you get in front of the camera. So in this case, since I had something helping my energy to be zapped, I had to then really pull back and just be stagnant in between takes.
Supervising his daily transformation is Greg Nicotero of KNB FX.
When we do the prosthetics, we do them in individual pieces. If it was all one piece, you wouldn't really get much of an expressive range out of it.
Okay, now let me see you move your face now. Why don't you say some lines, do some expressions.
Just sit right back, and you'll hear a tale. A tale of a fateful trip that started from this chopping board.
Regrettable deals with the devil, like the one made by Spawn, are a recurring theme in movies. Director F.W. Murnau's 1926 masterpiece, Faust, is the story of a physician who bargained with the devil. An early use of miniatures allowed for this haunting image of the devil cloaking a village under his massive cape. Faust set the standard for future filmmakers who would utilize advances in special effects to further explore the underworld. In the 1992 horror film Highway to Hell, Satan and his devilish cohorts graphically came to life through shocking makeup effects.
I am the Prince of Princes. I once basked in the light of God's love.
Makeup artist Steve Johnson, whose credits include Ghostbusters and Species, used prosthetics to turn an actor into the Prince of Darkness, and a full-body foam latex suit to create the Devil's Bride from Hell. In Spawn, the forces of hell are brought to life in the form of Violator. The terrifying creature appears on screen through both computer graphics and a 14-foot-tall on-set puppet built by Nicotero's team at KNB FX.
One of the trickiest things about Violator, of course, was, okay, how are we going to get him on the stage? Because there was like a 7-foot hallway clearance around the set. So we literally had to very delicately maneuver the Violator down this skinny hallway and around to the back of the set and bring him in.
Here, I'll push. All right, now go. Pull him a little more. I don't want to bang him. Ready? Wait. There we go.
people were amazed by it. Just anything that size is always impressive. You walk into a set, you see this big monster, and you're like, wow, that's really neat, cool, I want one of those.
A team of puppeteers operate the Violator through a variety of specially designed radio control devices.
This gotta go up.
For a scene where Violator grabs Spawn and shakes him in midair, the KNB team decides not to use the huge puppet's hydraulic arms, which could pose a dangerous risk to the actor. Instead, they will use a separate pair of insert arms operated by puppeteers.
Sorry, Jake.
Anytime you're dealing with a hydraulic creature, it's literally like a giant forklift. I mean, it's so powerful and so dangerous. There were times when they wanted both arms to come forward and grab Spawn, and I said, well, that's impossible, because if it not puppeteered correctly, it could literally crush the actor.
In order to make the effect work, the fingers of the insert hand are wrapped around Spawn and then tied together. Thin cables will lift him off the ground as the puppeteers raise the arms from behind.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Spritzing. Dennis set. How's the smoke, Jonathan? Speeding, raining, lightning, and action. Struggle and lift.
As Violator roars to life, it's not the devil's doing. Rather, it is the engineering and artistic craftsmanship of KNB FX that brings modern-day movie magic to the ancient conflict between good and evil.